everyone. I'm Kenny Baraka, the host for the World Book Day, the official World Book Day book club. And we are absolutely delighted to have with us this month, Maz Evans. Now, Maz is the author of the Laugh Out Loud and, dare I say, drink and snort milk through your nose adventure, by Spy, License to Chill. Our August title. Before we jump into the book, it'd be nice to hear a little bit about the creator. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So I'm Maz Evans. I am the author of now eight. I've written more books than children. I think probably most people might know me for my first book, which was Who Let the Gods Out?
Who?
Yes, and then since then I've written, another 7 books. I live down on the south coast by the sea. So if you've ever walked along Bournemouth Beach, you'll know if I'm having a bad day because my pencils get thrown from the window.
Let's jump right in. 2 feet. Speaking of the seaside, let's jump in for 2 feet. Can you tell us a bit about the book and the characters in By Spy?
Well, I shall certainly try. So By Spy is the story of Valentine Day, a little upside down heroine here, dropping in Mission Impossible style. And Vi wants nothing more in this world than to be a spy. And why wouldn't you? Awesome job. Also, family profession, every woman in her family going all the way back has been a spy and she wants to join in. But Kenny, it is a story as old as time. Child wants to do something, parent says no. So what does Vi do? She goes and does it anyway, because she's a kid, and that's how you roll. So with the help of her nan, Indy, Independence Day, she goes after Umbra, this shadowy figure in the background, who's a supervillain who has re-emerged after a decade in the shadows and is trying to take over the world with a mind control machine. Now, as if that were not enough for one 11-year-old young woman to be dealing with, Vi's home life is a little bit complex. So hopefully this is a series all about spies and gadgets and supervillains, all that cool stuff you'll love. But it's also about what it's like when your family changes shape through divorce or separation, because that's something I know a bit about because I've been through it myself.
You spoke about the villains, attempts to take over the world. But before that happens, the creator, yourself, needs to create and make that world. Could you tell us a little bit about the process of creating the world of By Spy?
Absolutely. So all my books are a combination of something I know and something I love. So the thing that I love in this series is spy stories. I always watch James Bond with my dad, and I love Carmen Sandiego, and I love Alex Rider and all of those things. So I'm quite familiar with the world of spies because it is a genre, which means it's a type of book. So I incorporate lots of bits from that genre, from that world, but I set them in a world hopefully that people will be more familiar with. So kind of the world of Vi's family, and the things that we all know about going to school and having awkward family dinners and being made to go to weddings and things like that. So my worlds are always hopefully slightly fantastical, but with things that people will understand and relate to because they recognize them in their own life.
Most writers, if not all writers, often begin as readers.
Oh, yeah.
So you know the question that's coming. What is your favorite book? And if it would be different, could you tell us the book you would recommend to someone after reading By Spy?
So books that I loved as a child, I think for me it's very important that I write the kind of books that I would enjoy. So I loved mythology, I loved action, adventure, and comedy, because I grew up in this dark and distant time, Kenny. I'm sure you're far too young to remember them, but I grew up in this medieval period called the 1980s. In the 1980s, there was really one game in town for a young person who wanted funny books, and it was anything by Roald Dahl. So anything by Roald Dahl, but primarily the Twits. In terms of books that I would recommend after you've read my books, I think there's one author that I think she gets compared to me and I get compared to her a lot. I'm certainly very flattered by that comparison. I don't know if she is, but the wonderful Jenny Pearson, who's been writing books for the last couple of years. And her first book, The Super Miraculous Journey of Freddie Yates, is gorgeous. It's funny, it's an adventure. It's about a boy who goes in search of his biological father. He's been raised by his stepdad and his nan. Sadly, he lost his mum back along, and he and his friends embark on this adventure across Britain to go and find his biological father. And it is both hilarious and heartwarming. It is one of those books that has the ability to make you snort 1 minute and cry, ugly cry, snotty tears the next. And Jenny has gone on to write many more books. I would recommend a lot of what she does, but certainly I think if you enjoy my books, you would enjoy Jenny's, and I'm afraid to say you might even enjoy them more. They are just magnificent.
Okay, as a child of the 80s, you know about this right in front of the TV, or our book, which was kind of my TV.
Well, yeah.
You gotta have some food with it, all right? We're big foodies here. We love combining our reading and our books here. What snack might you suggest one might partake in while reading by Spy and License?
I would have to say biscuits, but then I would say biscuits as pretty much the answer to everything. I love chocolate biscuits, chocolate cookies, anything in that family. So yeah, hanker down to my books with some biscuits. And
the reason they're a classic. It's the reason they're a classic.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere anytime soon, are they? They're brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Now, if there was a question you could pose to book clubs, because obviously a lot of the book clubs like to get together and read a book, what question might you pose to them after, before, or during their reading of My Spy and License to Kill?
Well, one of the things, or the many reasons that I love writing for children and working with children, is they are endlessly empathetic. So, they can put themselves in other people's shoes. And again, as I said, I think I'm writing about an experience that lots of people have encountered either personally or a friend whose family has changed shape. So I would really like book clubs to maybe think about advice for Vi. What can she do? Because her parents are at loggerheads, and one's a super spy, one's a super villain. So I would like people to think of what advice would you give Vi for this situation that she's in? How can she tell her parents to kind of calm down? What do you think she should do?
Please, everyone out there in Bookland, let us know how much you how much you absolutely loved Maz, Vi Spy, and A License to Chill. We hope you've had fun talking, thinking, and listening about books. I'm Kenny Baraka. Peace. World Book Day Book Club. Focus.